Was a little bit bittersweet to reunite with Eldon and Deborah, only for, Foggy to get killed off so quickly.
Yeah, it's a real tough pill to swallow.
Did Foggy always die in Daredevil Born Again? Or is that something that came with the overhaul?
So to honestly answer the question, yeah, it was in the material that I inherited, but unfortunately it was off screen. And I felt really strongly that if we were going to do something that earth-shattering and something that was going to cause such a ripple effect in Matt's life, we had to see it and we had to feel it.
When that was talked about in the beginning, it was like, I couldn't, I don't know how to get my head around that. I often think of Foggy Nelson as like the heartbeat of the MCU. He's integral to Matt's life, Matt's history. In the comics, you can't have a Matt Murdock without a Foggy Nelson, and Eldon has done such a beautiful job with that character for so many years.
The conversation with Eldon was pretty hard and pretty cool in the sense that he understood.
I understand as well that, we're coming back after 6 years. We need to make a big splash. We want to do something big and bold and different. And, you want to rock the boat early on and make people, draw them in a new way. So I understand that's one way to do it, but it's a big choice.
The thing about Eldon is that I think he was just surprised it was happening. So there was a little bit of like, oh, okay, this is awesome. Of course, it's all very, very bittersweet, but he really enjoyed being together. I have to say, watching them together was even like very sweet and emotional for me as a fan to be like, it's just the connection.
That night with them walking down the street was
nice.
Pretty great.
It was so nice.
The decision was made before we came on, and we're like, okay, so if this character we all love is going to have to die, how do we treat this? And there were a couple of things. One is just like, it needs to be an atom bomb on the lives of everybody in the show. It needs to ripple out, not just for that episode or for that moment. Can't be swept under the rug. It's something that has to ripple out through episode 9. And it does. Matt's like core values are shaken and he questions himself entirely for the rest of the show. The other thing about it is we wanted to make sure that the moment felt simultaneously highly emotional, but also like it doesn't just blow on by. And so that's why it's the punctuation mark of a one-take shot. The effort and conversations that went into that one take, not just on our own, but everybody, was absolutely enormous. And we think that one of the reasons that people got behind it is they knew how serious what was happening during and at the end of that shot is. So really just like making it the end of one of Daredevil's legendary one-take fight scenes for us was a way to kind of begin his eulogy.
From what you've seen, we're obviously huge fans of the Netflix show. And we think about the many, many, many strengths of the Netflix show. One of the biggest ones was their ability to find humanity through tragedy. If you're tasked with being like, what's the worst thing that could happen to Matt? To bring forth his humanity out of tragedy, that's probably the worst thing that could happen to him. Yeah, it's incredibly sad, but there's also it's a very powerful storytelling element